Our Social Democratic Party SDP in Kogi State has expressed deep concern and lack of confidence in the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC, citing experiences from the 2023 Kogi State governorship election and recent developments regarding the recall process of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. The Kogi State Press Secretary, Social Democratic Party SDP, Isaiah Davis Ijele, disclosed this in a statement on Friday. According to Ijele, he says, "Our party notes with dismay that despite INEC's previous statements to investigate and prosecute electoral offenders in Kogi State and the cancellation of elections results from Okene, Okei, Adavi, Ajaokuta, and Ogorimangogo local government areas, the Commission proceeded to declare election results without adhering to the stipulated procedures, particularly regarding the actual accredited voters." The opposition Social Democratic Party in Kogi State further highlighted the alleged inconsistency in INEC's pronouncements regarding the petition to recall Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan. The Commission initially declared the petition as not meeting the required standards, only to reverse its position within a short period. This erratic behavior undermines public trust and fuels a suspicion of manipulation. They say, we call on all lovers of democracy worldwide to closely monitor the situation in Kogi State. The SDP questions how INEC could have confirmed the signatures of nearly 208,132 individuals, a figure that almost doubles the total number of voters in that election. The SDP is deeply concerned about INEC's demonstrated incompetence in past elections and will not fold their hands while the Commission attempts to repeat its past mistakes to the detriment of Kogi citizens. The statement added. Well, well, quite interesting. You saw what INEC did as regards Senator Natasha's recall process. You know, let me get your, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
Well, INEC is an organization that Nigerians are used to always accuse, to point fingers at, okay? And like any institution or organization, I always reserve myself or reserve comments, or I don't like running to very speedy conclusions, because I believe that they have what they work, their rules and how they operate. If we're outside and we are saying, oh, INEC said this today, tomorrow they will come to say another thing. Definitely, they must have a reason why they have said, no, this, what we have calculated or what we have said before, we think for this reason or that reason, we have to retrace and we have to say, we have to correct ourselves. All right? So I don't see any big deal. If INEC said, if they're not going to recall her, and the next moment or the next day they said, okay, no, we want her, we can go ahead with the recall. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to cast aspersions on that organization, because I have my utmost confidence until I have reasons not to, okay, in that organization, okay, in that institution. INEC is there for the good of democracy in Nigeria.
All right.
So they know, as we all know, that if all eyes of Nigerians are on them, and if they don't follow democratic paths or democratic principles, all right, definitely Nigerians will rise up. So I know that this news that is in the media now that we're hearing must have an explanation, which I know INEC is going to let us know in the nearest possible time.
Okay, well, this happened 2023, and we are in 2025. Okay. I mean, 2 years, you know, behind, and nothing have been said by INEC as regards to the 2023 election in Kogi State. Well, here is the SDP again passing a vote of no confidence, saying that, okay, well, this happened in 2023, and you said you were going to address it, but you did not. And now this is happening again in Kogi State, where a recall process has been initiated. Now you come the first time and said, okay, no, the process isn't the way it's supposed to be, that they'll have to take the process again. And now they took the process, and now they're also coming again the last time and saying that, okay, this recall process do not meet the requirement and all of that. So at that point, they wouldn't, want to recall the senator. I think this might be what instigates the SDP to pass the vote of no confidence, if I'm not mistaken. But now the question is, how damaging is the SDP's remark or vote of no confidence to INEC's reputation?
We have a lot of political parties in Nigeria. Okay. So why is it that SDP has accused and they've come to accuse again? Why? If they know that they are really right, they would have further. I mean, this is 2 years before today. Why did they allow it remain in the cooler until another incident have happened? If they really know that they are correct with the accusations, they should have gone a step further or steps further than to wait for the next happenings and then now start pointing. Oh, look at what they did last time. Let us be aware that the same accusations SDP is making towards against INEC. INEC would have had one or two other kind of complaints from other political parties, and I believe that if the other political parties they are satisfied with the judgment of INEC. I mean, that's why they've been quiet. I mean, why is SDP doing this again? Is it because if I can recall, Natasha was Senator Natasha. I think she started with SDP, if I'm right.
All right.
Okay. So it's something like it's our person. And for me, at this the ocean in which she's swimming right now, I believe it is going to take her back to SDP. So yes, I believe they are saying this because they want to stand for their own.
Okay, so you are saying that there's not been issue of a inconsistency on the part of INEC. Is that what you mean?
If INEC INEC is not, they're not perfect.
All right.
No organization is perfect.
I love that.
You understand? So if along the way, one is to say, oh, no, let's rectify this. You understand? You can never, no organization, no person is perfect at all. If they make mistakes, yeah, they can still rectify the mistake they have done.
All right. Well, there have been speculations that INEC's inconsistency have been, supported by some external political pressure. Well, could this be the case in this regard?
Every political news right now, they will always attribute it to some political underground pressure.
All
so
right.
it's a normal thing for them to say that.
Okay, so you were saying that the issue of them handling this, let's take the issue of Senator Natasha, for example. So you're saying that the inconsistencies in INEC's, handling of Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan's recall process does not indicate any external forces. Is that what you mean?
How can I say for sure that it does not? I'm not there.
All right.
Okay, I don't know what happens at the behind the scenes. Okay, I'm just saying what I know from the media and what I've seen that INEC is doing. Okay, whatever is behind, I wouldn't know, and I'm not going to make any speculations at all. But if anybody, they have how they should operate. If they are going away from that track, then, I mean, it's the duty of all Nigerians to call them to order. But like I said before, why is it only SDP now that is shouting INEC?
Okay, so based on your question, now how might this controversy affect voters' trust in future elections in Kogi State?
Well, let's see how it goes. But I know that INEC is going to work according to their ground rules.
All right, don't you think this...
They are under obligation to do that. There is nobody that you cannot sue to court.
All right. Don't you think that these controversies by the SDP at some point might not undermine the trust of electorates in Kogi State?
It shouldn't.
Why?
It should not.
All right.
Because like I said, is SDP the only political party in Kogi State?
Okay.
If this one is saying INEC, or the other person say it's a lie, INEC is correct, the other person say don't mind them. Are you telling me now that the populace will now say, because SDP said that they don't have confidence in INEC, that means INEC should kick INEC out of the state? They can't even afford to do that. INEC will do what they've been designated to do.
Well, you've been asking me a series of questions saying if the SDP is the only party.
It's not the only party now.
Okay, so are you trying to say that SDP's critic is not legitimate, or they are not pushing for accountability, or probably is a strategic move to gain traction?
It's a strategic move to make Nigerians, you know, not to put their trust in INEC, and I don't see it that way. It's until I have every fact to lay accusing fingers on anybody or any organization. If I don't have, then why should I do that? Why don't I allow them to do what they are meant to do?
So you're saying you're not seeing any the issues
of
this
for me, I'm not seeing any inconsistency per se. There's no time that if you have run election right now, if your party does not win or you don't win, you will point hand at INEC. If my own wins, I'll say INEC is correct. Do you understand? And INEC, we know that we do what we conduct election. Transparent elections, except there is any reason why we believe the elections are not transparent, or the judgments of INEC are not right and in our own opinion, or according to the laid down regulations, and then that's what we begin to shout. Now this happened 2 years ago. Why were they quiet until now?
Probably, I'm not their spokesperson actually, but one would think that they probably might have been, you know, watching the series of events, how the turnout of events is going to be like, and unfortunately, this that of the recall process occurred, and then they have to shoot their shot.
No, for me, if you wrong me, okay, and I believe that I've not gotten redress, I will continue making sure I get redress. If the Kogi State, what we reported this evening, that they believe they don't have trust in INEC, they would have continued their campaign to ensure that the government listens to them. Do you understand? Not to keep quiet and at the end of the, after 2 years, they now say, oh, because of this one happened last time, now because of Natasha's own, we are passing a vote of no confidence. How? Why?
All right. Well, in all of this that has been said, considering the fact that INEC is a very critical tool as regards the democratic process in Nigeria. Now, isn't there any possibility of, you know, the INEC not having issues or discrepancies in order not to cause controversies such as this?
INEC shouldn't.
Now, what are the things they need to do? What are the things they need to do so that we don't keep having issues of people passing passing votes of no confidence? Because you're saying that it's just the SDP.
It's to work according is to uphold their regulations. Okay. It's as simple as that. There's laid down principles
and always be consistent.
And be consistent. There's laid down principles which they will strive to do. You understand? They will have laid down principles for them to do. We have our voters registration, we have our, you know, the campaign and all that, and they know what to do. We know that they do, and I believe that any deviation from what they are supposed to do, we're going to shout out.
All right. So
for us to have transparent elections forthcoming.
All right, so from all the stories we've talked so far, what would be your takeaway in just a minute? We are rounding up now. In just a minute.
The fact is that our environment, Nigerian environment now is a bit tensed. Okay, I mean the tension, it is building in tension gradually towards the election time, and I believe a lot of things that happen, a lot of stories we are hearing today, is bordering on the forthcoming elections. Okay, people that they feel are going to be a big challenge for other sets of people. They are trying now to discredit them. Okay, to demarket them. All right, like the way I see our Senate president, they are trying to demarket him. Okay, because they know that he's going to be a force in the forthcoming elections. Every other person they try to demarket so that they can also be on top. All right, to give them what's it called? It's for them to be easier for them to win the forthcoming elections. Elections and in politics, everybody has to be relevant.
All right, so what's
everybody's trying to be relevant.
Okay, well, just this last question before we round up the show. What would be your advice for probably the Senate's president? What do you think he should do? What do you feel he should do as regards to all the controversies, all the allegations smearing up on his face, considering 2027 being around the corner?
The Senate president is doing his duties, and he should do his. For me, he should just remain focused.
Okay.
If allegations, even more allegations might still come, like I said, more devaluing and demarketing will still come. So it's just to remain focused, and as they come, it's just to ride on the waves. All right? You can't come and accuse him and then he doesn't react. If you accuse him, I mean, we have the right channels for you to take your accusations too. You know, everything, in my own opinion, is just to make him not to be focused. But I know I give him credit because he's a very focused and he's hardworking. You know, and I don't think, by the grace of God, I pray for him that all these distractions, all right, is not going to cause him to lose focus.
All right. All right, thank you so much.